watching KUTV Primetime News with Irene Mwangi.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, in our discussion tonight, we'll be focusing on matters environmental conservation. Now, when it comes to cooking, most people are used to using traditional means of cooking, that is the use of firewood and use of charcoal. But a company has come up with alternative way of conserving their environment while providing solution for cooking fuel. And I talked to Koko Network, which is offering the solution. I talked to Sophie Odupoy, who's the head of public relation in Koko Network. Take a listen. Thanks indeed, Ms. Sophie, for making time. Can you tell us who you are and what you do here at Koko Network?
My name is Sophie Odupoy. I'm head of public affairs at Koko Networks. Yeah.
Cocoa fuel has been embraced here in the country. Now, when you look at it, it has environmental impact as well as business impact. So when you started Koko Network, was it more about the business gap, or was it more environmental, looking into more option of conserving the environment?
Okay, very interesting question. Thank you, Irene. So looking back, in 2005, we have two co-founders. One is Greg Murray, the other one is Sagun Saxena. They visited East Africa around 2005, and they saw that very many people were using charcoal. And they realized the use of charcoal leads to deforestation. So they realized there has to be a better solution for us to reduce cutting down of trees, and leading to climate change. We know deforestation is one of the causes of climate change. So they said there has to be a better way, and there has to be a better solution that we can provide to these people for them to be able to cook. We know we need food to survive. So cooking is something that you do every day. Yeah? So they went back and thought through a solution that will not cause cutting down of trees. So it addresses the issue of environmental impact, but also these people use charcoal because it's cheap and it's easily available. So they thought, can we find a product that balances between being environmentally friendly and being affordable? So it was a dual need. It was not one overriding the other. So that was the thought process. So that's when they went back and said, how can we address this problem?
When you look into the supply chain infrastructure, it's more technological. It involves ATM and refueling of the canisters. What has been the uptake in terms of embracing the technological aspect, given that, technology is a new thing and you're moving into the digital world?
As our co-founders were thinking through the best way to get an affordable product into the hands of our consumers, they realized, as I said, it's first has to be technologically based because it needs to be sustainable. It needs to be affordable. Secondly, they realized developing a value chain where you supply the product using a single-use plastic makes it very expensive. It's not sustainable. And remember, plastic is also not environmentally friendly. So they said, how about if we use the existing infrastructure? If you think about it, companies like Vivo, who's our partner, they already have a supply chain infrastructure in place because they're already supplying fuels. So we said, how about if we take advantage of their underground tanks, which they're not using? So in this thought process, they developed the partnership with Vivo. So we are able to supply our bioethanol to Shell-branded petrol stations, then take the fuel from the petrol station to our Koko point. And the Koko point is at the shopkeeper. And then a person who's bought a Koko cooker has a fuel canister, which they come and refill. As we were developing this value chain, we were doing it in partnership with consumers. So when they set up here 6 years ago, they developed a network of 1,000 consumers whom we tested repeatedly. Right now we're in version 6, both of our cooker and our Koko point. So it's the consumers who through the partnership enabled us to fine-tune and make sure that the method of them being able to use the product is user-friendly. So we've made sure that a consumer is able to understand how the product works, and when they go to refill, First, when they go to buy at the agent is well briefed. So any questions they have, they can be addressed. The agent walks them through how to use and how to refill. And then they also, we make sure that they know how to refill the cooker before they leave, so that when they go home, they don't struggle. So it has been a user-centric experience. We've not developed it from our perspective as a business. We've developed it from the user perspective, so that it's easy for you. Yeah? If you look at the canister, it's very easy to carry. You just put it on your shoulder, you walk to the shop and you refill. Parents are even so comfortable that they send their children. The child just goes, yeah, refills at the Koko point. Remember, at the Koko point, it's an account, which is you use M-Pesa, yeah. So the child does not need to be given money, yeah. They just go, dock the canister at the Koko point. It has a chip, so immediately it recognizes, hello, Irene. Yeah, it's connected to your mobile number. Then immediately your account appears and it tells you, you have 200 shillings, how much do you want to refill?
So, Sophie, what are the key advantages of using the bioethanol stoves, not only at the household level, but at the commercial level?
The product is used both in the house, and also you'll find people who have vibandas, yeah, also have, they've actually changed to use our product. Why is this? One, first, it's affordable. As I said, it's very affordable. The Koko cooker itself right now retails at 2021. Yeah? 2-burner cooker stove. If you do a comparative with any other cooker in the market, for a 2-burner, it is really affordable, 2021. And within that 2021, you get the canister and 2 free refills. A Koko canister is 2.3 liters. Right now, at our current price, it costs 161 shillings to refill it. Yeah? So first, it's affordable. Secondly, whatever amount of money you have, when you want to refill it, for as little as 30 shillings, you can get fuel. So if your fuel runs out, yeah, that day, and you only have 35 shillings, 40 shillings, 50 shillings, we are able to refill. And we're not charging you more when you refill at 30 shillings as compared to when you refill at 160. It's the same price per liter. So we're not penalizing you for having a smaller amount of money. Thirdly, we said it's very easy to use. Yeah? Most importantly for us as Koko Networks is it's safe. Yeah? Safety is a core value for us as Koko. We want to make sure you as a mother, you as a user, you're very confident that this product does not cause any harm to yourself, to your kids. Yeah? If you just happen to leave it open, this is not an uncompressed gas. Yeah? It's not a compressed gas, sorry. It is an uncompressed liquid. So even if you leave it open, it does not, whatever dissipates into the atmosphere is very little. So you can actually come and still light it with no effect on the environment. Secondly, that canister can only dock on the cooker or on the Koko point. You cannot access the fuel in between. You can't, yeah? Because people keep saying bioethanol is an alcohol. First, we've denatured. We've put a component in that makes it, it is no longer drinkable. If you try and drink it, it will cause you to, you'll have to throw up. Yeah? So we've made sure it is not something that people can use as alcohol. So you cannot access it. Yeah? If that canister falls, it can't break. It is made of very heavy, durable material. And as I said, there is nowhere where you're interacting with the ethanol. So we've made sure that from you as a household, you're able to cook easily with it, yeah, for a low amount of money. It's not like when you're cooking with charcoal.
What has been the market feedback from people who use it on a day-to-day basis? What have you been able to observe during this time period that you have been in the country, and how the uptake has been at the market level?
I think the best feedback for any product is how fast you sell. Yeah. So our structure has been truly, we endeavor to have a one-on-one. So because of how the product is used, it makes more sense for me to talk to you one-on-one, but the awareness we create through mass media. The feedback has been awesome. Yeah, we are growing 5 times since we launched in February 2019. The growth has been 5x right now. As of now, we are present in 4 counties, Nairobi, Kajiado, Machakos, and Kiambu. And to date, we have close to 200,000 households in under 1.5 years who are already using our product. The best feedback is positive word of mouth. So every consumer who hears about it, uses it for themselves, immediately tells their network of friends. So that is how we are seeing our demand growing. They said, one, it's because of its affordability. They've never seen a product that is user-friendly, it's pocket-friendly, it's environmentally friendly at the price that we are giving. Yeah? So this is what is motivating them to take it up. We have in place a customer care center, so people are able to call for free. You can actually call and give feedback on how the product has been for you, and also get support. So we have an increasing number of consumers who just call us to tell us, e-product ni sawa kabisa. You know, more importantly is also people asking us, when are you coming to our county? Because right now we're only present in 4 counties, so they're saying, when are you coming to my county? We have a plan to expand to the rest of Kenya and eventually East Africa over the next 2 years. But first we want to make sure that we meet the demand within the 4 counties. So it doesn't make sense to try and spread our footprint very wide, just to make sure we're present everywhere. We want to make sure first, within the areas where we're present, we have met each and every customer. So the feedback has been great. And for us, we're not lying on our laurels. We are perpetually updating. Yeah, we are listening to our consumers when they say, how about if you do this? How about if you do it that way? And we're listening to them. So keep your eye out for the next upgraded version of the Koko cooker.
Since the inception of the Koko fuel here in the country, what has been the impact both economically and also to the environment after you've done the monitoring and evaluation?
So one is we've reduced pollution. For every consumer who changes from charcoal to ethanol, we save 5 tons of carbon dioxide emitted into the environment per household per year. So just translate that to all the people we have about close to 80% of households in Kenya who use biomass, so either are using charcoal or firewood. So imagine if we transitioned all these households to using bioethanol. It will enable us as a country achieve our goal of greenhouse emissions. From an economic perspective, as we said, we are saving people money. It's more money into your pocket because you're using less. The cost of ethanol is lower when you compare it with charcoal. We're 50% cheaper than charcoal. So we save you money. More importantly, we save you time.
So tell us some of the key aspects that have given you key advantages as compared to your competitors, which are the traditional means of cooking and also the LPG gas here in the country.
So Koko has set itself apart, and we have an IP. Our technology platform is an intellectual property, so it's protected. But that's not to say that competitors can't come and look for a way of setting up a similar one. We're very open in talking about our supply chain infrastructure. Competition just enables us to deliver a better product to the consumer and be able to take them away from charcoal and kerosene. If we're able at the end of the day to reduce deaths due to household air pollution, to reduce the impact of deforestation, it will be all good for Kenyans at large.
During your time since 2018 that you've been here in the country, there's some of the challenges that you've faced. Perhaps what are some of the key challenges that have made it difficult to mushroom even further here in the country?
One is the supply of ethanol. Yeah. So first, as a company, we approach it from a 360. So it's not only the downstream. We want to make sure that we grow the ethanol industry. So we're working very closely with the Ministry of Agriculture as we endeavor to provide incentives for people to set up factories grow sugarcane or they can grow cassava. There are various sources that can supply ethanol. So to address the challenge of locally available ethanol, because if you think about it, locally available ethanol will be cheaper than internationally sourced ethanol, because we pay import duty and we pay VAT on the bioethanol. So we want to grow the local market so that we are able to empower the farmers, empower an industry for bioethanol, but also be able to provide our customers with an inexpensive and locally available bioethanol. So that has been our first challenge. Second is, as a growing industry, we are seeking incentives from the government in terms of VAT exemption and import duty, zero rating. Import duty exemption. Effective July this year, the government of Kenya exempted bioethanol from VAT, which enables us to pass on that cost to consumers. Yeah, so that is one area that we are working closely with the government to be able to get the costs reduced. As with any growing company, if you even think about some of the large companies, Safaricom, etc. At the beginning, it was a challenge for them to overcome that hurdle of convincing consumers by the telephone, do this, do the other. So it's a partnership with government for us to be able to have the exemptions within a certain time period. And once the product has taken root in the market, we can truly then say the VAT can be returned, the import duty can be returned, and we'll be able to have a larger base on which they can apply the VAT and import duty. So that has been the primary challenge. The clean cooking sector is still young. LPG is one of the products that are available in addition to ours, bioethanol, in addition to biogas. So you can see there are multiple. Electricity is also clean cooking. Yeah. So we face the challenge of convincing people that you need to take up a clean cooking solution. Yeah. Because it's best for you. If you think about it, people are very comfortable with what they've always known, and they get used to using it. So you find people who are very comfortable using charcoal. So that's why I say it is a one-to-one conversation.
I know you've mentioned the issue concerning the government looking into the VAT, but given that the government has been advocating for environmental conservation and Koko Network has come up to come and sort of help in sorting that gap in terms of conservation of the environment, have you received any support from the government in terms of policies, regulations, and even giving you a conducive environment to offer your commodity to citizens here?
I think we've seen a lot of support from the government. We recently launched ethanol cooking fuel master plan, which the government has endorsed through the Ministry of Energy. And it's a master plan that outlines what it takes. It shows the government what would it take to set up ethanol cooking fuel industry within the country. What are the costs of setting up a cassava-based industry, a sugar-based industry? What are the cost differences? Yeah, what are the policy changes that would need to implement to set up this business? We know the government through its Vision 2030 and specifically through Big Four agenda, agriculture is central, manufacturing is central, and in our conversations both with the Ministry of Industry, with the National Treasury, with the Ministry of Agriculture, with the Ministry of Energy, they've all bought into this, yeah? And we are in conversations to put in place the policies. The process of putting in place policies and the regulations to implement those policies is not short. Yeah, so it's a journey that we are working together. We are very glad to be partners with the government. They frequently visit us here at Babadogo, and we walk them through how our setup works. So we are hoping that within the next 2-3 years, we will see the fruits of this labor, the fruits of this journey, and be able to have policies in place that enable farmers to see the value in growing cassavas, in growing sugarcane, specifically for ethanol, and also see the value in setting up these industries, but also we are working closely with the Ministry of Industrialization, because remember, for the Koko point, it's an additional revenue stream for the shopkeeper. Yeah, so we want to make sure that the incentives are in place to make sure that shopkeepers are not see the value and see the benefits of setting up this additional stream. So as we gear up towards Finance Bill 2022, we are engaging again the ministries as they seek to put forward their proposals for how we will finance the budget for this year and going forward, to continue the conversations that we started. As I said, we've been here 5 years. We've had conversations on and off. So we just want to continue those conversations. We are seeing increasing support because there is pressure. The climate change is showing us. If you see the change in the rain pattern, we are dependent on rain-fed agriculture. So every year they're seeing the value of supporting companies that are anchored on sustainability, that are anchored on climate change. So I think the future is bright, and government is an able partner and is a willing partner. So I think just keep your eyes open. You'll see us launching different policies and putting in place the regulations and implementing these regulations.
As you finalize, Ms. Sophie, kindly give us your parting shot, what you love to tell the consumers who are using the Koko cooker, and for those who have not embraced it due to one reason or the other, what will you tell them?
Anyone who has not taken up to visit us, visit any of our Koko points. We are, as I said, we are present in 4 counties, and the shops that sell Koko have clear Koko branding. All these agents are at hand and have a cooker to demonstrate, and talk to us about your experience. Tell us what your experience has been like, and if there's anything that you feel we can improve on, how we can make the product better. Our doors are always open, our telephone is always open. So any engagement, any conversation you're willing to have with us, we are willing to listen. Thank you.
All right, there you've heard it. The choice is yours, but we